What's up? Guys, it's Friday. How y'all doing? It is Jeff. Hope you're having a great afternoon or a great evening. We are so ecstatic that we're at the end of the week. We always know that these weeks seem like they're getting longer and longer and longer every day, but then you look up and hello, you're in a new month and we're in the third day of May already, which is bizarre to me. Either way, we made it to the weekend and it's time for us to get down with some stories that's going to put a smile on your face. A good way to wrap up your week again, taking a break from that heavy news cycle that we can all use a break from. Even me, and I have to read it every day. I love these times because I get the chance to chit chat with you guys with some fun stories that are happening probably here locally or around the world. And today we got to talk about this, man. We're gonna throw some shade today because this is what we're talking about with those drivers. I know Virginia is ranked number 4 as far as having road rage incidents. These are situations like that that cause this to happen. So check this out. This is some video that is going viral all over the place, raising awareness about how you just cannot do this. You got a little car right here thinking he's gonna play in the middle, monkey in the middle between two trucks. That is not okay. So yeah, we're going to break down exactly what happened here, how this was just a very, very, very lucky situation for him because he actually made it out. So we got the whole case breakdown later on in the sprint. And again, this is just going to be a healthy reminder to you guys. Get your lives together on the roadway. It is not that serious, y'all. All right, moving on. First and foremost, guys, you already know it is snake season because get this, you already know with spring, that means you're going to be seeing some snakes, and that's something that we do not like to see. There are the 3 venomous snakes here in Virginia. It includes copperheads, cottonmouths, and the timber rattlesnakes. I think that's what that bad boy is right there. If you're bitten by one, you definitely want to head to the emergency room and don't use a tourniquet that will only spread the venom. And then they said instead you can call animal control. They'll be able to help with removing the snake, so don't try to take it upon yourself to do it because, again, this could end in a very, very serious situation. When I was living in San Antonio, there was this kid, and I will never forget this. I always wanted to do a story with her, but she herself was all about nature, was all about, let's not disturb the natural environment and stuff. And I forget exactly what the specific name was, but there would be rattlesnakes that would pop up in people's yards sometimes. Sometimes they'll pop up in the trash cans and on the front porch. And they would call this girl. I don't even think she was like licensed or anything, but she, for some reason, had just some type of obsession with removing the snakes herself. And she did it in a professional manner. Like she had like the gear and everything. She would just relocate the snakes. And her whole message was instead of killing the snakes, just relocate them. For me, personally speaking, if I see a home skillet sitting on my front porch, we about to probably have some words with some type of gardening tool. But I know a lot of people are just like, yo, bro, don't take their lives. I get it. I'm just saying, I'm just a human, But yeah, this girl, she would just remove the snakes like it was just like as if she was relocating a puppy or something. And I'm like, you are a brave individual. So if you guys see one of these bad boys in our area, again, we got 3 venomous snakes to be on the lookout for. Do not try to touch it yourself. Don't try to move it yourself. Call officials, have them do it, and again, try to avoid it at all costs. And if you do find yourself getting bit, go to the emergency room immediately. All right, speaking of snakes, that gets a lot of anxiety going. I know we're going to trying to make a transition into this because, as you know, they're looking deeper into the fact that a lot of kids, they get anxiety when it gets to testing and all that stuff. And as we're wrapping up the school year, that is something that we got to put on the forefront real quick, okay? So we already know how scary it can be to be able, overwhelmed with having to take a test or quiz or something like that. Well, anxiety in children can lead to symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, irritability. It can also push a child to procrastinate, withdraw, or isolate themselves to focus on school and the pressure they feel. Parents can help ease that anxiety by offering to watch the children practice their presentation or carve out time to give them a break from studying, ask open-ended questions to monitor how they're doing, and most importantly, listening to them. It also says that healthy practices like prioritizing good quality sleep, balanced nutrition, physical activity, and reducing screen time can also help set a child up for success We all know that anxiety, man. I'm sorry. I don't know about you. I was one of those kids that literally I would stay in my room and I would just 100%. The way I study because I was a memory studier. I was a hands-on person. So what I would do is literally, if I had to, especially if it's definitions or something, I would just repeat it over and over and over and over and recite it over and over and over again to where it was just at the top of my head. And then I remember getting into the test. You already know, you put your books up, you know, it's just that nervous feeling when you sit down at your desk and it's like, all right, everybody get your pencils out. Ooh, I just remember that it's bringing me back. But it would be so rewarding after I get to the test and then you know every question. But I also understand how terrifying it is when you got those multiple choice questions where it could be two answers, could be the right one. And you're just like, which one is it? And as soon as you think, your brain goes blank. That right there freaks you out. So I remember if I was going through that in my day, I'll say back in my day, yeah, if I was going through that back then, I can only imagine what kids are experiencing now. We were talking about it earlier about how kids nowadays, they obviously got all the technology and TV and distractions and stuff. So it might be a bit more difficult for them to kind of focus in on what their subjects are without getting freaked out about something. So yeah, either way, there are some steps that you can take as a parent to make sure your child is in good hands as far as testing and studying and what you can do to kind of make that process an easier one for them. Moving on, guys, we got to get to this. Okay, we love sleeping in. And apparently, I didn't know that. At first, when I read the story, I thought to myself, this is just an excuse for people who oversleep and make it into work late or go to school late and just be like, oh, yeah, I didn't hear my alarm. Well, yeah, no, apparently there is a glitch going around with the iPhone users where if you are finding yourself sleeping in too hard and you look up and your alarm did not go off or it's going off and you couldn't hear it, there's a reason for that, okay? They're trying to fix it. Says that some iPhone users have turned to social media with that very complaint, saying that they've overslept because they aren't hearing their alarm. Apple told NBC News that the company is working to fix the issue. However, it is unknown how many iPhone users are affected. In the meantime, they say that some users say that turning off the attention awareness feature has helped solve the problem. So we have like our production people, one of our directors was talking about how, you know, ever since she's been on our morning shift, she has been hit with this issue about 4 times. But fortunately, she wakes up naturally at the time where it's time to get up and go to school or go to work. That's one thing that scares me when the power goes out. And you guys know, power goes out, phone battery goes low, because that's kind of where all of our life is at, is that phone. You know, you get to see what the time it is. You get to get your clock ready. You got your alarm set and all that good stuff. And I remember one time I had to get up real early and the power went out and I woke up. My phone was just dead. And when I turned my phone on, I was so scared to see what time it was. And I've been doggone, it was right on time. I woke up at the perfect time. It was just, I could just see how that would just mess up anybody. So hopefully they get that feature fixed, because again, we don't need a lot of people oversleep, especially in today's world where it's constantly moving. There's nothing more discouraging than going to work or going to class and being the late one or having to catch up and all that stuff, all because of some type of technical issue. So iPhone, get it together. If you're not hungry right now, get hungry, because you know the Strawberry Festival is happening. A lot of people are pumped up about this. Again, this is a staple that a lot of people get ready for. You got some shortcakes, chocolate-covered strawberries, and ice cream sundaes. Festival is happening all this weekend. And of course, it is underway for the community school. They said they plan on using the money for teachers and financial aid for students, because it's been ongoing for 40 years. I think that was going to help out a lot. So this has been going on since 11 a.m. And then it's going to start up again tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if you guys want to get your hands on this wonderful little tradition, make sure you go out to Elmwood Park. They'll get you set up. And again, you'll be able to knock that off your list to say that, hey, I got to make sure I can't go throughout this year by missing my chance to get a strawberry shortcake. The thing that always blew my mind about that festival, though, is that they bake this stuff literally a month out, and you think to yourself, how in the world is it able to stay alive for that long? And it does, and it's very popular, and they've been doing it for a while now. Very, very, very successful. So it's pretty interesting right there. Something else that's interesting, guys, you know the Olympics is coming up, and there are some sports that are being added to the mix. For example, climbing. Now, this is when I saw this, I was actually accidentally watching it. I think I was waiting for some type of other competition to start, and it was this that was going on, and I ended up watching it very intently because it was something very athletic to pay attention to. This is going to be featured in this year's Olympics. The sports climbing made its Olympic debut in 2020 in the Tokyo Games. So when NBC got the chance to speak with a member of Team USA, here's what he had to say about what makes him a gold medal climber.
Problem solving is a main one that I think is important for any climber to have. These are climbs that you've never seen before. It's the first time that everyone in the competition will get to experience these specific climbs. So you really have to figure them out very quickly, and usually the person who's able to solve them the fastest is the winner.
So Jesse says never imagined his sport would be on the world stage when he started climbing when he was just 6 years old. Now, 27, he's qualified for Paris by placing first in the men's bouldering and lead combined at the 2023 Pan American Games. So, yeah, I'm telling you guys, if you guys haven't seen this, it is crazy. And the way he's climbing in a very slow fashion right now. They move so fast. I don't know if it's called speed climbing. There are like certain areas of climbing that you can do. And every time I accidentally have watched it or it was just on the TV, they were just going up the wall, like literally looking like Spider-Man, like human spider monkeys, just getting right up to the top, ring the bell, and it's very cool. So glad that they're added that to it because it's giving him an opportunity to showcase his skills on the world stage. Let's get to meteorologist Chris Michaels, man. It is time. We got to get to that weather, man, because my want to be a little bit on your toes for figuring out when the weather, rain is coming through, when it's not coming through. So meteorologist Chris Michaels is here with our Friday forecast.
Happy Friday, guys. Still very warm today. Isolated storms after 3 p.m. Off and on rain this weekend. It's not going to be wet all 48 hours. Scattered showers tomorrow morning, widespread tomorrow evening, widespread Sunday morning, scattered Sunday evening. So here's a look at some of the events going on. We're going to keep track of the weather for these events and keep you updated every step of the way this weekend. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Monday.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Stick around with us. After the break, we're not done yet because we got a lot of stories to get to. One being a very heart-stopping water rescue. Again, another nod to our awesome law officials who jump in and put their life on the line to save others. We also got how AI is jumping into the wedding planning stage, helping people save some money. But we're also talking about this. You've seen it online. Oregon State Police posted this on their Twitter page about this close call. Yeah, that car literally, you just think to yourself, why? There's no reason why you should be speeding like that. But we're going to break it all down right then and there. Check it out right there. I'm going to pause it right there. Woo! That was a close call. We're getting to the details as far as what happened, what people are saying online, because a lot of people are not too happy about this happening on the roadways, putting all their lives in danger. All that and so much more coming your way on The Sprint. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. WSLS.com. Welcome back to The Sprint, man. Let's get right into it. I'm probably the only one out there, and I say that, but watch, there's a lot of people who are on board with me. I just got trust issues with AI. I feel like it's doing too much. I feel like it's getting way too smart, but that's just me because I'm just paranoid like that. And plus, I watched The Terminator growing up. Either way, AI is doing its thing, and apparently it's helping people save a lot of money, especially with wedding planning. And it makes sense. I get it. I mean, it's a good deal of it being used, but get this, so many different ways from creating a picture off of a few words to now apparently planning whole entire weddings. It says it didn't do too bad for a job either because one bride says that it saved her more than $5,000 in wedding planning services. Program listed out detailed options for bridal bouquets, centerpieces, decorations, so much more. And it's just not the brides who are cashing in on this opportunity as well. It says the wedding planners themselves, they're also being helped with their searches with nutrition and figuring out different things to eat and where to go. Seems like they're starting to take off. As an NBC source says, more than half of the couples who are engaged are now looking at AI tools to help plan their wedding. So I was actually, because I obviously haven't planned a wedding, I'm single as a Pringle right now, but I figured that it does help. I didn't realize it cost money to get you have to get people involved on those decisions, you know. And I forget that all those decisions it just doesn't come from the couple itself. It takes a lot of people, a lot of hands on deck to get that done. But hey, if this helps save money, do y'all, because we already know how expensive it can be to plan a wedding. I don't even want to think about it because I could just tell how that can be a very big stressor in anybody's life. But AI, man, like I said, I just feel like they need to rein it in a little bit. It's doing too much, like way too much. But I get it at the same time. Technology is advancing. We got to get with it. And maybe one day I will fall in love with AI and be like, hey, I gotta use this. But right now, I am still the kind of chick that I'm like, give me the calculator, man. I don't feel like, you know, and look, I say calculator, but I'm pretty sure a generation older than me is just like, man, just give me the pencil and paper. I will do my math myself, you know. So either way, shout out to AI doing this thing. And if you're using AI to plan your wedding, man, more power to you, especially if you can save up to $5,000. That's a big deal. Another big deal right here. We got to get to this life-saving situation. It's kind of a terrifying video. It's like everybody's biggest fear. Police in Hamilton County, Indiana, have shared video of water rescue from earlier this week. In the metro, a woman's vehicle had flipped over and landed in a ditch filled with water. You see it right there. Deputies work with firefighters and Department of Natural Resource officers to free her. You see them digging in there to pull her out. Had to remove their own personal safety equipment to get close enough to break the window, and there she goes. Talk about a miracle right there. From there, pulled the woman out. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But can you imagine, like, thank God that they were there on time, in the right place at the right time, and to see that they had to literally remove their safety stuff, get in there like that, and pull her out. I think I would just be praising them forever. Like, in the fact, like, look at the actual rescue when they actually reach in, and how rewarding was that to know that you're pulling out a living human being. You know, like, anything could have went wrong. You know, she could have drowned. She could have been in there struggling, but thank God she made it out. And like I said, shout out to our first responders, because them jokers deserve everything and so much more. Speaking of which, our first responders are doing what they can to raise awareness about using common sense when you're on the roadway. Now, you've seen the video. It's going around all over social media. It's coming from the Oregon State Police. Drivers' shocking close calls being shared as an example of what not to do when passing on the highway. And again, you got to see it to believe it. So check this out. You're looking at your video right now. Again, this was one of those situations where you're just like, what were you thinking, bro? It was terrifying. So apparently, Oregon State Police, again, posted on X, warning drivers to learn from this shocking, risky pass attempt captured on a Harney County highway. This video shows an SUV attempt to pass a truck, and then at the last second, the vehicle barely scrapes through. And if you look closely, the other truck that was coming the other direction did clip him. Watch that, bam, right there. But at least it wasn't a head-on collision. So that right there has a lot of people like, man, you are one lucky person. It was a lot of close look. Again, shows that they clipped. Thankfully, no one was injured in the shocking near miss. But, Oregon State Police confirmed that the SUV driver was cited for careless driving, calling him incredibly lucky. So, yeah, they lucked up and only walked away with a citation. Man, that is something bizarre. And that's my biggest fear. Anytime I'm trying to pass people, and I try my best to avoid doing it, especially on those 2-lane highways where you got the yellow markings. Like, no, I'm like, yeah, I would rather just get it to a point where I got multiple lanes that I can do that with. But this dude, like, man, talk about a risk, and talk about something that wasn't worth it. If something would have went awfully wrong, he would have been just SOL. But yeah. You hear my thoughts about it. You see the Oregon State Police try to put their warning out about it. But let's hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. All right, so again, Oregon State Police doing their due diligence with trying to warn people about this situation. Do not do this. If you're trying to pass a vehicle, you put your life first before trying to get there first. Some of the comments came in, they were just like, wow, no way. And then Brian said, geez, man. I mean, these are kind of the reactions that you do have when you see something that close of a call. Another person comes in and says, cited, not arrested? Question mark. I know a lot of people are just like, dude, you could have literally killed somebody by just doing that. Another person said, if I were the passenger, I'd want out now. And I am with that person because guess what? If you mess around and you driving like that and I see you, you pull a stunt like this, you better either pull over, let me walk, or I'm taking over because ain't nowhere in the world I can trust you for doing something slick like that. Moving on to our next comment, and they say, cited, dude just risked killing at least 3 people. That's another person with questions. And then another person says, careless driving, that is reckless driving. 100%. Lindsay, you better go ahead and say it with your bad self. Another person says, people should be arrested for this kind of stuff, not just cited. You got a lot of people kind of doing that same sentiment. Like, because again, you're putting so many people's lives in danger all because you couldn't wait. Like, it is not that deep, bruh. And then last but not least, this one kind of made me laugh. This person says, how do you keep from slapping them upside the head like Nima would? So basically, grandma don't play that and parents don't play that. Basically, this person is saying that, okay, you obviously need some type of discipline in your life because getting away with this, with a slap on the wrist, that's just some scary, scary stuff. So yeah, all that stuff and more, you guys had so many different comments to say. Everything kind of echoed what these people said. Let's bring in Jazzy Jazz right now. Jazz, what are your thoughts?
People need to be more careful.
Yes.
You do not need to be anywhere. You can wait and be patient. There is nowhere that you need to be that is good enough to risk your life. If you can wait, take another turn. I don't know if she might have needed to get up for some reason. Maybe she got off. Maybe she was in the wrong lane and she needed to just get into it real quick to get off the third and exit. I don't know. But again, there are different ways you could approach that. Different things you can do because at the end of the day, nothing is worth risking your life. So if you are that in a hurry to get to that place and end up killing yourself, like at what cost?
Yes.
That's something my dad's always taught me, even when I was learning how to drive. Like if you pass the exit or if you miss that turn, don't try and quicken, cut people off and everything, all just to get to that area. Just pass it and find another way to get there.
Right.
It's not worth risking your life, and not only that, but putting other people's lives at risk.
Oh.
She is very, very fortunate that was it a woman?
I don't know. I think I think they just refer to him as a driver. So
Okay.
whoever the driver is.
The driver is very, very fortunate that they were able to make it out of that alive. Even the police officer said that it was a very just incredible, miraculous thing that happened the way that it unfolded. So I'm glad that it ended well for them, but hopefully they don't do anything like that again because
Right.
that is extremely dangerous and it's never worth it. And I know, like for me, I hate when people just do stuff like that with me, and it's not worth it. Like, I remember when I was driving up the street and someone got cut in front of me, slammed on their brakes.
Oh
and
no.
and you know where they were going?
What?
They were going to Burger King.
Oh gosh.
You want that burger that bad? You want to the rack?
Oh my gosh.
It's got to be more mindful. And again, there's no place that you're going that is worth risking your life. Even if it's the beach, a big vacation, just take your time. You're going to get to where you need to be.
Oh, yeah.
Don't put your life on the line, other people's lives either. Especially not for Burger King.
Right. Look, Jazz said, you remember that statistic that brought Virginia to number 4 as far as road rage and stuff like this that'll do it.
The burgers.
All right, Jazz. We got a really cool deal coming our way. They're launching it right now. I need you to give people just an insight on what this big deal is with WSLS.
So we have something new coming up for people. It's called the Blue Ridge Games, and it's a interactive outdoor activities, and you can really just immerse yourself in all that our area has to offer. It's a really, really exciting contest, and we're going to have a set of rules and different categories. You can take pictures and go on scavenger hunts and go on different trails and submit it through Pinit. And then as you tally up points, then you have you're working towards winning a prize. So we have a lot of different prizes. We have park passes, we have Lazy Boy recliners, gift cards, and a lot more to come. So it's super exciting. It's 100 days out, so that happened right after the Olympics. So we're counting down to it, super excited. there is we have an article up right now on WSLS.com. As soon as you head to our website, it's the #1 article there. All of the information that you need to know. You can even sign an interest form so you can get that pre-registration and beat everyone and get ahead of the game if you want to sign up and if you're interested. And make sure you keep an eye out because we are going to be releasing pre-registration prices so you can get a discount. So you save some money, but it's super, super fun. Really excited just so that people can see because it's a really unique place. There's a lot of beauty to it, a lot of hidden gems. So this Blue Ridge Games really allows you to immerse yourself in our region and just all the things that makes it so unique. So please be a part of this. It's an awesome, awesome thing to be a part of. Again, if you want to learn more, just head to WSLS.com.
All right, Jazz. Thank you so much, girlie.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Happy Friday.
You too, boo. All right, guys. Yeah, make sure you guys check in those Blue Ridge games, man. We're going to be talking about that leading up to that. So I can't wait to see all the pennant pictures, all the competitions that come in. It's going to be very exciting. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We've made it to Friday, y'all. I'm going to pull out the bell. Got to get my bells going because you know what? We've been looking forward to this day. I thank you guys so much for just having that conversation with us, taking that break away from all the crazy, stressful news of the day and just simply having a conversation, laughing about certain things, raising awareness about other things, man, you name it. That's what the Sprint is all about. So all of our people out there who watch some of the stories that we put out there and you see the headline, click on go the extra step and actually click on the video, click on the article and watch what we do because a lot of people just go right off the headline and the thumbnail like, this ain't news. Okay, what's not news to you might be news to somebody else. Either way, we're all about family here. We're all about togetherness. And more than anything, I'm all about encouraging that in the weekend. So if you guys are leaving here, I know we got a lot of graduations happening this weekend, especially tomorrow. One starting up in the morning. So congratulations to all of our graduates out there. Thank you again for joining us today on The Sprint. We'll be back here Monday afternoon and Monday evening, giving you guys more news that you want to see, more news that'll make you feel good. And again, just that overall break from the craziness of your day. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you then. WSLS.com on The Sprint.